everyone, this is my very first YouTube channel. Sorry, meaning these videos. Okay, so this is my very first YouTube video is what I meant to say, and it is on a brand new channel. And the reason I wanted to really start a YouTube channel and more so these particular videos is because I went to law school and I have a lot of debt. So I've spent the past year of my life and maybe the next few years of my life to figure out ways to make money fast, efficiently, legally, and this is what my channel is gonna be really focusing on. So this particular video is about how I have made really good money with Doordash, but in general, I do want to talk about lots of ways to raise money, keep your expenses down, try to tackle your debt, and buy yourself nice things. So in this particular video, I want to discuss how I've managed to make upwards of $330 a week doing Doordash. And when I say a week, I only Doordash part-time, so Thursdays through Sundays normally, and I do it for about 9 hours a week. And when I say 330, that's how much I made in 9 hours of work, which is pretty hard because with Doordash, you can get bogged down if you don't understand it, just accepting bad orders and just wasting your time going to restaurants that make you wait forever and etc. etc. So long story short, I started DoorDashing October 2019. In today's climate with the COVID-19 going around, a lot of people are doing DoorDash because unfortunately a lot of people have lost their jobs. And I've actually noticed, like, when you go to a restaurant, nobody's really picking up for themselves. Everyone is working with a delivery app. And I will say that the past maybe 2 weeks, DoorDash hasn't been as great as it normally is. And I'm thinking it's because so many people are getting onto the DoorDash app. So there's so many drivers that you're not getting as many deliveries coming through your phone. But either way, I do want to help people who think it's kind of challenging or don't really understand how to make efficient money on it. So my number one tip for you guys is I personally only accept orders that are under 6 miles. When an order comes through your phone on DoorDash, it'll tell you 8 miles, 10 miles, 3 miles. If it's anything under 3, you want to accept it. I mean, unless it's like $2. But if it's anything under 3, that's going to take you about 10 minutes of driving, and you just pick up the food and go. And those are really good orders, especially if it's like $6-7 for under 3 miles. My second tip is I don't accept orders that are under $7. And $7 is kind of arbitrary. What I mean is you have to look at the mileage and compare it with how much they're paying you. So if it's like 7 miles away for $7, no, I'm not taking that. But if it's like anything below 4 miles and $7, I will take it. But anything below 7, I won't. Unless it's like $5 for 2-mile delivery, then I'll be like, I'll consider it. Look at the mileage. Number one tip. Number two tip, look at the amount. That's important because if they're giving you like $3, you know they're not tipping. You know that's just DoorDash paying you the base pay. Personally, like, if I see something that's as low as 3, I just don't take it out of spite because I'm just like, I know you're not tipping me. I don't care if it's close. I just don't want to do the delivery for you because if you're ordering out, I mean, if you're doing delivery, please tip. Like, it's just common courtesy. If not, just go grab it yourself, you know? So my third tip is look at the amount. So what I've picked up on is DoorDash will say minimum guaranteed. It'll come up on the screen like you see here. It'll say $8.50 or $7.50 or $9 or $9.75. The ones that end in 50 cents, 65% of the time, you're going to get a higher than guaranteed delivery. So the guaranteed is the minimum that DoorDash is going to pay you. That doesn't mean that that's all you're going to get. I don't know how it works, but they don't drop the ball. Like, sometimes I don't know if the customer tips later or DoorDash just doesn't want to tell you because they don't want everybody to jump on the really good orders, but sometimes they don't tell you. But as a tip, the ones that end in 50 cents are ones that normally end up being a lot higher. Keep that in mind. My fourth tip is, especially if you're tired or you're not sure if you want to do it, a particular delivery, look at the destination where you're dropping off. If you're familiar with where you're door dashing, you know the good areas, you know the areas you might be likely to get a better tip, maybe because they're $1 million homes, whatever it may be. Like in my area, I know certain parts of town tips have just naturally been better. So if I see the location drop off there and I'm tired, I want to go home, and especially if it's the one that ends in 50 cents, I'm like, let me take it. This could be higher than what I'm seeing. So look at the location. My fifth tip is look at the number of items and the restaurant that you're going to. The higher the number of items, the higher the total. People are pretty fair in the sense that if it's a $60 total or a $100 total, they may not tip you the 15-20%, but they will tip you enough that the tip will be like $8 or $9, as opposed to like one Chipotle bowl being like a $1 or $2 tip. So look at the restaurant and look at the total number of items. I've noticed that sit-down restaurants like a Cheesecake Factory or a Maggiano's or, a Red Lobster, the people ordering from there, first off, they order a lot more because they're usually ordering for families. And second, they do tip closer to the total, 10 to 15% of the total. So keep that in mind. Sorry, I'm just going down this list of notes I made so I don't forget anything. One thing to just kind of point out, I have friends who joined after me because I've told them that you could make really good money. And I've noticed that DoorDash doesn't give you as much orders when you're new, maybe because you don't have a history and they don't necessarily know to trust you. So a lot of the good orders don't come to people who are new, because I've sat in the car with my friend who was doing it when I was doing it, and he wasn't getting any hits. And I got like 7 on my phone, but he had just signed up for DoorDash. So keep that in mind. My sixth tip, I think I'm on 6, I'm not quite sure. Make most of peak pay offers. What peak pay offers are, it's like this. It'll say you can earn an additional $3 between the hours of 5 and 9. So DoorDash will give you your base pay, then they'll give you an additional $3 peak pay, and then you get the customer tip. And this is on each delivery. So if you do 4 deliveries between those hours, you get an additional $3 on each of those. So that's like $12 right there, free money. Lately, DoorDash hasn't been doing that, and I'm thinking it's because of what I said with them having a lot of drivers, and I guess they don't need to incentivize people because everybody's signing up to be a driver right now. And also look out for challenges. What challenges are is that DoorDash will kind of incentivize you to do them really fast. So it'll be like, do 5 deliveries between 5 and 9 and you'll get $12. So it'll look something like this. And those are really fun because you're kind of competing with yourself to finish fast, and also you're going to get a reward at the end of it. And who doesn't like some more money, even if it's only $10? My next tip is don't worry about denying orders. I deny maybe 5 or 6 out of the 10 orders that I get, and my acceptance rate is really low. It's like 25%. And your acceptance rates can be low. You don't have to accept every order that comes through your phone if you don't want to. And just don't worry about denying orders. You're not going to get kicked off the platform. My next tip is only dash during busy times. I understand some people don't have any job right now, but DoorDash is not busy throughout the week. DoorDash is busy on very particular times of the day. During the week, really up until Thursday, DoorDash is dead. I can't speak to lunchtime. During the week, I would think that would be a little busier because people are working from home and eating out and whatnot. But just realistically, think about yourself. Do you eat out on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as much as you do on like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday? So what you're going to end up doing is wasting your gas, wasting your time. If you don't live near a hotspot, you're going to have to drive out to that hotspot, and you literally just sit on your phone waiting for things to come through. It's just not very efficient. So if you can, if you are doing it part-time, just do it Thursday through Sunday, 5 through 9. But actually Sundays are very busy during the day. So keep that in mind because people do brunch and stuff. My next tip, again, you don't have to follow this, but I don't accept the orders that require a red card. What that means is it's the card that DoorDash gives you. I like prepaid orders, orders that are the work is already done, the person has already put the order in, you just have to pick it up. With red card orders, sometimes you actually have to go place the order. So Popeyes is like this, Burger King's, Dunkin', Baskin Robbins, things like that. I prefer not to do that. It kind of slows me down. So I don't accept orders like that. So let me know if you guys have any questions and what other videos you'd like to see, whether it's on DoorDash or anything else. Just let me know, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe. Thank you.
So one of the things I forgot to mention that is actually very important in terms of how I make better money than I otherwise would on DoorDash is I look out for 2-for-1 deals. So what that means is usually when you're doing a delivery, you will see something like this. It'll say $3, point 0.1 mile, 1.5 miles, or whatever it may be. So when you press accept to this, you kind of wait around for the food to be ready. In that window where you are waiting for this order, even sometimes when you've already picked it up and you're like heading back to your car, you will get an alert from DoorDash that looks something like this. It'll say, for an additional 1.1 miles, you'll get an extra $7. And this restaurant is right next door to the Chipotle that I just showed you on the prior screen. So sometimes it will be the same restaurant. Like Chipotle, you'll get 2 orders from Chipotle, and sometimes it'll be from one that's very close, but it's never like super far away. And the reason I really like this, when it says an additional 1.1 miles, this is an additional 1.1 miles from the first customer's location. So it's great because usually when you do an order, you do one, you drop it off, then you drive back to a busy area. In this case, you're picking up 2 at the same time and then delivering it to 2 different people, and instead of having to drive back to a busy location after each one. So you actually end up making double for the same amount of work. Now, it's very important to look at this additional, because I've had friends who I'll show you. So they'll look over here, it'll say on your route. It's very tricky because it says on your route when in actuality it's not really on your route. Sometimes this an additional 0.6 miles will actually be like 10 miles. And because the person just saw on your route and you're new, you end up delivering way out of your way. So make sure you look at the bottom, additional mileage. And that's kind of an easy way to get 2-for-1s, is an easy way to make faster money. And usually they come into individually, what I said, but if it's very busy, like these 2 are both for Chipotle. And I don't really like it when it's displayed but like this, because you don't know how much is being tipped by each driver. So by each customer. So in this case, it's 2 Chipotles, and the total for all of that is 5 miles away from the restaurant. And yep, that's my next tip. Hope that helped.